and today I'm going to solve Thermo Sudoku by Jonah S. 2010. This is another of my delves into the older puzzles on Logic Masters Germany. This was originally published in 2018, and I have worked it up in Sudoku Pad. The one that I'm going to do does not have solution checking, but once I have solved it, I will make sure that the link in the description is one with solution checking for you. And that's where you can go if you would like to try it for yourself. Let's have a look at the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we're going to place the digits 1 to 9, once each in every row, column, and box. That was the box. That is a column and a row. Okay. Digits on a thermometer strictly increase from the bulb to the tip. So this digit will, let's have an example. We could go 1, 2, 3, 6, 9. That would be a perfectly valid way to fill that thermometer, as long as the digits increase from the bulb to the tip. Digits on an arrow sum to the value in the attached circle or oval. The oval should be read as a 2-digit number. So if this were a 3, a 2, and a 1, I know it can't be, but there we go. Then that would be a 6. And along this arrow, we're going to read that as a tens digit and that as the units. Okay, I am going to restart the puzzle to reset the timer, and let's begin. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's at least a 5. Six, 7. So that's at least a 7, and likewise so is this. In fact, if that were 2 1s, 9, 8, 7, this is a maximum of 6. I think. 6, no, that could be a 7. 7, 8, 9, yes. So that's a maximum of 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that goes 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. This is going to be the same on the other side. 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That is 7 digits. The minimum that that can be is 28. But if it were 28, it couldn't include a 2. So right. Those 2 digits are an even, right. No, hang on. Get my brain in gear. This, the sum of those digits is equal to the concatenation of those 2 digits. Right. Yeah, that's not quite so easy to figure out. But that's at least a 3. Okay. Those 2 digits are at minimum a 1-2 pair. Those 2 digits are a minimum a 1-2 pair. And those 2 digits are a minimum of 5 and 6. So that's 3 plus 3 is 6. Plus 11 is 17. Which means that the sum of all these greens is 17, and therefore the sum of these two circles must be 17. So that has to be an 8-9 pair. So they can't be sevens. This is a 1-2 pair. This is a 1-2 pair. And this is a 5-6 pair. So that's not 7. So we can bring that 4-5 down. We can bring that to 3-4. We can remove the 4 from there. That's now a 2-3 pair, and that is a 1. Okay. So if this is a 5, this has to be a 2 and a 1 in order to bring it up to 8. Oh no, it could be 2-2 to bring it to 9, and then 6-1-1 would make 8. So, but it could be 5-1-2 or 2-1, and 6-1-2 or 2-1. So whichever side has a 6 has at least 1-1 on it, and whichever side has the 5 has at least 1-2 on it. Okay. But we do have some interesting pairs. All right, is it this that we need to tackle? So 8 and 9 can't go here because of this 8-9 pair. So 8 and 9 can't go on this thermometer at all. So 8 and 9 are in these 3 cells between them. And we know that right, we have 8 and 9 on this arrow somewhere. So that gives us 18 is what we're currently at. What's the maximum that this could be? Given that we've got a 1 on it, well, if we take the 2 and the 3 out of that arrow, then that would be 40. So it can't be 40 because I can't write a 40 here. So the 2 digits I remove from the arrow are the 2 digits that I have to place here. This is very mathy, and I'm wondering if there's some other place that I can be looking first. Okay. None of those can be a 2. That could be a 2. That could be a 2. Those can't be 2. All right, where does 9 go in this column? That's a very good question. Can't go in this box. If it's on a thermo, it has to be on the tip of a thermo. It has to be there. Where does 8 go in this column? Another good question. I can't put an 8 there because I can't make that 9. I can't put 8 earlier on there, so that has to be the 8. I can't put a 7 here because I can't make that 8 for 8, 9. So 7, but 7 could go in here. But I do have that as a 9-8 pair by Sudoku. Okay. That can't be a 1 or a 2 because we know that that's a 1-2 pair. So that's at least a 3. That's 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. In fact, that can't be a 5 because if that were a 5, it would have to go 5, 6, 7, and that would break that cell. So that's not a 5. If yeah, that okay. Do I really want to tackle this? Gonna have to, aren't I? What's the best way to figure that out? So, okay, if 2 and 3 were missing from here, then that would be 40. Which I can't do in those two cells. Right, because if 2 and 3 are missing, so the 2 digits that are missing are the digits that make this oval. So 39 would mean the 3 and the 9 were missing from here. But, well, this can't be 39 or 38. So okay, it can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, the minimum nominally is 28 because there are 7 different digits. But it can't be 28 or 29. So it must be 30 something. We know that given that there's a 1 there, the maximum it could be theoretically is a 40. So this is a 3. All right. So it can't be 31. It can't be 32 because that would be that would mean that we'd need a 2 missing, but that makes it 40. Right. So we already have a 3 missing, so that's 42. So if we take out a 6, that feels about right. Then that is right. That's the way to think of it. 45 minus this number is the sum of these two, so that is 36. There we go. All right. So 2 can't go in any of those. 2 has to go, it could go there. 2 has to go on one of those two. If 2 is on the thermometer, it must go there because 1 can't go on the thermometer. Where do 1 and 2 go in this box? They go into those 2 cells. So that means that these are from 4, 5, 6, and 7. But that can't be 7 because that can't be 8. So that's 6. That's 7. That's 8 or 9. This 6 makes this a 5. And that makes this 6. So we can run this one down, 4, 3, and 2. That allows us to run this up. Very nice. This 6 is looking down here. That's not a 6. Oh, that's 5 and 4. So that's 7. This 3 or 4 means that this can't be a... yes, it can. That's 3 or 4. That's 4, 5, or 6. So it's not a 6 because of the 6 in the column. These 3 digits are 4, 5, and 7. That means that that's a 3. And this must be the 6. There we go. So if this is 5, those could both be 2 with that being 9, which would make those both 1 and that 8. So that still works. All right. Okay, this can't be a 4 because that would make that 3 and that 2. And I can't put a 3 there. If that's 5, 4, 2, and then 8, 9, and 7, that could work. So that'd be 5, 4, 2, or 7. That could be a 5. Can't be a 6. That could be a 4 or a 5. Nope, that can't be a 5 by the column. Okay, so those 3 are fairly restricted. Okay, 3 in this box can't go there. It must go there. That's now a 1 or a 2. These are from 1, 2, 4, and 5. That's not a 5. That's not 4. Those 2 could still be the same digit. That's A, that's B, that's A, that's B. Yeah, that could still work. Okay, so 5 in this row is in one of those two. 4 is in one of those three. 3 in this box is in one of those two. One of those two is a 4. One of those two is a 3. Where is my next pressure point? Um, let's think. 5 is in one of those three, and it feels too much to... There's a 3 in one of those three. Oh, this 2 is looking across. Okay, that's a 1. That's a 2. I'll take that. So 1 is not there or there, and it's not there. So 1's in one of those two. Feel like I'm missing something. And big question is what? Okay, 6 is in one of those two. If that's a 6, then that's 7, 8, or 9. If that's a 5, that has to be a 4. So why can't that be a 4? Seems like a reasonable question. I almost want to be able to figure out why that can't be a 7, because if that's a 5, that's 4, that's 2, and these are 7, 8, 9. Okay. If that's 3, that has to be at least a 5, because of that 4. That makes that 8 or 9. But if that's not a 3, I guess that could be a 1 or a 2. It could be 1, 2, 5. So that could be as little as 5. Which would make that 4. Okay, that doesn't feel like that's where the pressure is yet. Okay, that can't be an 8, because that can't be a 9, because that would break that. Those aren't 1s. That's not a 1. Those aren't ones, that's not a 1. That's not 1 by this 1-2 pair. That could be a 1. I don't see why not. Where is the pressure then? That's at least a 5, but that is at least a 4. That's okay. That sees 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's 5, 6, 7, or 8, making this 6, 7, 8, or 9. This sees 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 6 and 7. So that's 5, 8, or 9. Okay, that's a bit more restricted. That sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. That's 7 or 9. That sees 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's at least 6. That's at least 4, so that's at least 5. Okay, so this is where 4 goes in the column. That's nice. Okay. That can't be a 3 because of the 3 over here and 3 there. So that's a 2, that's a 1. That places a 2 into one of those two. That's not 4. This one makes this a 2, which makes that 1. And we still don't know the disposition of this yet. But we do know that that's not a 1. So 1 is in one of those two in this box. That means that 1 is there in this box, must go there, making that a 2. Okay. Could this still be a 5? 4, 3. No, because of this 4. Yeah, that's a minimum of a 3, but then that's now a minimum of 5. So that is not a 5. Four is in one of those two. 2, 5, 7. Could still go there. Okay. That can't be a 2. Oh, this 2 is looking across. This is a 4. This is a 5. That makes this a 4. And that not. And that's now 1 or 2. Okay. Looks like we have a deadly pattern, but that's going to be resolved by this 8 and 9, I suspect. All right. So these 3 digits, well, the only place for hang on, all right, that's where the 2 goes in the row. This is therefore 8 with a 9 here. That makes that 7. That's not 7 or 8. 7 and 9 come out from here. By the column, this is 5, 6, or 8. This box needs 3, 5 or 6, and that has to be the 3 because of the 5 and 6 in the row. That makes this a 9. That's now a 5, 6 pair. And these three are 3, 7, 8. There we go. That's not an 8. All right. It looks like it's just Sudoku and this thermometer that I need to figure out. So let's see. Best place to look. Right, these are for the row 6, 7, 8, 9. That is not 6 or 9. 7 or 8. That still seems to have all its options. Okay, 8 is in one of those three. Of this 8. That means that that's not 8. 8's in one of those two. This 2 is looking up. That is not a 2. That is a 2. That 4 is looking up. That's a 5. Now that's a 7. Okay. These are 4, 8, and 9, and that's not a 4. So that's 8 or 9. That's 8 or 9, and that's a 4. So that's not 4, so this can't be 5. So that must be. That makes this 6, which makes this 5. That is not a 6. We get a 7, 9 pair in the column. That makes this 8, and that's 7. That's the 9. That's now the 8. That's the 9. These are 5 and 6. That removes a 6 candidate from there, giving us a 7, 9 pair in the column, but that's the 9 and that's the 7. That's a 6. Okay, that 9 makes that 8 and that 9. This 7 makes this an 8. So that's not 8. This 9 makes this 8. This is now 6, 1, 1. That's 9, making that 5, 2, 2. That resolves this 1 and 2 here. These are 3 and 1 in the row, and we know the order. These 3 are 6, 7, 9. So that's the 9, 7, and 6. So that makes this 3. Okay, that's not a 1, and this digit is a 4. That goes in, that resolves the 4 and 5, which resolves the 5 and 6. These two digits are 8 and 3, which are resolved. That resolves the 7 and the 8. And then these two are 6 and 7, which go in that order. that was a very nice puzzle. Should have come up with this 36 a lot quicker if I had thought about the fact that the sum of those two digits had to be 45 minus the number they were representing. But I got there once I thought about it. But I did like how the ones and twos remained ambiguous until the end. Anyway, if you like this solve, then please hit the like button. You can subscribe to see some more. I would love to hear your comments. I'm looking forward to next time. Be seeing you.